Good morning. I am Professor A.R. Niralkeri, Gokte College of Commerce, Belagavi. Warm welcome to students of Become second semester. In this session, we will be discuss about the practical on skill development syllabus. Recently, the university has made certain changes in the syllabus of the practical on skill development. Compared to the earlier syllabus, the slight changes has made by the university. The certain things are there, the certain contents interchanged with units. The remaining part is as usual, that is the PST subject which contains the 50 marks. The every student has to prepare the record book according to the guidelines given by the university, and the internal assessment marks shall be awarded on the basis of the record book submitted by the students. Finally, the university has to conduct a separate examination. For this, the separate question papers. Next aspect, then let us see the objectives of the course. Practical on skill development course enable the students to learn the practical aspect of the business functions. Another important function of the course is that improve the student knowledge relating to the real practices. That means improve the students' knowledge relating to the real practices of the business in relation to the practical functions. Let us see the main object, that is the syllabus. The totally syllabus, it contains the 4 units. In the first unit, we can see the mainly 3 aspects, that is the consignment, branch, and the industries. Relating to the consignment, here we have to study, that is the meaning and the definition of the consignment and the features of the consignment, and also finally the students are asked to collect a copy of the consignment, and also how the books are maintained under the consignment system are to be studied. Then the relating to the branch aspect. Here the students are asked to visit nearby the branch and report relating to the branch how the accounts are to be conducted. And also the another aspect here we have to be discussed, that is the hire purchase. Here the students are personally visit the nearby industries. That is the industrial installations are made on the base of the hire purchase system, and also visit the students and studied there how the accounts are to be maintained, how the hire purchase system is to be work out there. And finally in the first unit we can see, that is the conversion of the conversion system, conversion of the partnership into the joint stock company. And here relating to the conversion we have to be studied the accounting procedure relating to the conversion. And the last aspect in the first unit, that is the cooperative societies, how the accounts are to be maintained in the cooperative societies, and which standard of the accounting system, which standard of the accounting system has adopted in the cooperative is to be known. Then in the second unit we have to be studied, in the second unit we have to be studied, that is the organization. Here the principles and the practices, here the principles and the practices followed by the organization is to be studied. And identify the management values, the management values practices by the organization is to be identified. And the collection of the methods and the techniques followed relating to the performance of the appraisal. In relating to the organizations, here we have to collect the methods and the techniques followed by the relating to the performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is to be studied here. And the social contribution, that is the social contribution of the organization. Nowadays how the organization is contributed to the society, how the rendering service to the society is to be studied here. And finally in the second unit we have to study, that is we have to ask the students to draft a note relating to the requirement of the office management, that is identify the requirement of the office management and draft a note relating to this aspect. Next, we can see the third unit. In relating to the third unit, mainly we have to studied about the particularly we have to studied about the product. That is, the student has to select as per their choice one of the particular product, and also study relating to that product, that is the consumer behavior. The study of the consumer behavior relating to a particular product, and also suggest a suitable strategies for the product development, and also describe which stage of the product is there in the PLC curve, that is the product life cycle. And finally, the student has to study the different network or the distribution network for the different product is to be studied, and develop advertisement copy relating to a particular product. This much is to be studied in the third unit. Finally, we can see the fourth unit. Here, the collect the capital structure of a company, or study the capital structure of a company and analyze the capital structure, and also how the financial function is to be studied, how the financial function is to be work relating to the hotel industries, and also draft a note relating to the financial services of a small scale industries. And finally, and the students are asked practical aspect, that is name the 50 companies, list out the 50 companies whose equities are covered under the Nifty. And finally, we have to see NCFM, that is collect information on NCFM, that is National Certification in Financial Market, and prepare a brief report on the same. So this much is the syllabus relating to the practical on skill development. The student has to study the syllabus throughout the semester. Let us see the first unit. Let us see the first unit. Then in the first unit, mainly we can see the consignment, branch, and the industries. Today we will discuss only one part of the first unit, the simple part of the first unit, that is the consignment. In the consignment here, as per the syllabus, we have to study the basics of the consignment and the books maintained under the consignment system. Then, here the consignment means one person send the goods to the another person to be sold on commission basis, on behalf of and at the risk of the sender of the goods. That means main object of the consignment is that to increase the transactions or to increase the sales. Usually the manufacturers, wholesale dealers appoint the agents. So here in the consignment business, mainly we can see the two parties, that is the consignor and the agent, or the consignor or the consignee. Then here the consignor means, mainly we can see the two parties. The consignor means the consignor is a person who send the goods to the another person to be sold on his behalf of and at the risk of him on the commission basis. That is, the consignor is a person send the goods to the another person for the purpose of selling those goods at his risk. Then the sending the goods on the base of the sending the goods for the sale purpose on the base of the commission. The goods sent are called as the consignment outward. Then we can see the another person, that is consignee. The consignee is a person who receives the goods to be sold on commission basis on behalf of and at the risk of the sender. That is, the consignee is a person who receives the goods from the consignor to be sold on the commission basis at the risk of the consignor. The goods so received called as the consignment inwards. And also the transfer of the possession is there, agreement is there, the many features are there. Then we can see the consignment and the sales, the difference between the consignment and the sales. In relating to the consignment, the ownership of the goods that remains with the consignor. Here mainly in the consignment business we can see the consignor and the consignee, or the consignor or the agent. The goods sent on consignment, that is once the goods sent on consignment, the ownership of the goods that remains with the consignor. But in case of the sales, the ownership of the goods transferred from the seller to the buyer. And the relation between the consignor and the consignee is just like owner and the agent. But in case of the sales, that is we can see the buyer, that is the debtor and the creditor. The risk of the goods remain with the consignor in case of the consignment, because of the ownership is still in the hands of the consignment, in the hands of the consignor. The risk in relating to the sales, the risk of the goods is transferred from the seller to the buyer. In relating to the consignment, the expenses incurred on the goods are borne by both the parties. The consignor or the consignee sometimes pays the expenditures. But in case of the sales, the expenses incurred on the goods are borne by the purchaser. The consignee can return the goods to the consignor as the goods are not sold to the consignee. The return is not possible as goods once sold are not returnable in case of the sales. So these are the general differences between the consignment and the sales. The consignee has to send the details account sales and the detail account sales. The purchaser need not to send the account sales to the seller. So these are the common differences between the consignment and the sales. Let us see the pro forma invoices and the account sales. The pro forma invoices, it is prepared and sent to the consignee by the consignor. That is, the pro forma invoices sent to the consignee by the consignor. The consignor has to prepare the pro forma invoices. Usually the pro forma invoices, it contains the details of the goods relating to the goods, that is the quality, quantity, the price of the goods sent on the consignment. And also the pro forma invoices is prepared only while sending the goods. And the account sales is prepared by the consignee, and the same is to be periodically sent to the consignor. The account sales usually it includes the details of the account sales, like the quantity, price, number of the goods sold, the expenses incurred, and the commission of the consignee. And the account sales is prepared periodically and the sent to the consignor, which will enable him to record his books. And next we can see the accounting procedures, that is how the books are maintained in the consignment business. In the consignment business, in the books of the consignor, mainly we can prepare the two accounts, that is the consignment account, consignee's account, and simultaneously we can prepare the goods sent on consignment account and the goods consignment stock account. Then that is mainly here we have to follow the two systems. When the goods are sent to the consignee at cost price, and when the goods are sent to the consignee at the invoice price. There are two methods are there. Then necessary accounts in the books of the consignor. Here accounts are to be opened in the books of the consignor. That is, the first is the consignment account. The consignment account is a nominal account prepared in the books of the consignor to ascertain the profit or the loss made from the consignment. That means the consignment account is just like the trading and P&L account. And the main purpose of the consignment account is to know the trading results. At the end of the consignment account, we can see the profit or loss made during the consignment or the particular consignment. Then in the consignment account, the goods sent on consignment, the value of the goods sent on consignment and the expenses incurred for both the parties is to be debited. The goods consignment account is to be debited, and the commission paid relating to the consignee is to be debited. Mainly these three items are to be debited. And the gross sales made by the consignee is to be credited. The value of the gross sales and the value of the goods returned by the consignee to the consignor is to be credited, and the unsold stock or the closing stock of the consignment in the hands of the consignee is to be credited. Then finally, if shows the credit balance, then the result is the profit. If shows the debit balance, the result is the loss. So here the main purpose of the consignment account is to know the result. At the end, we can see the profit or the loss made by the consignment business. Then again, we have to prepare the consignee's account. In the books of the consignor, the first account is the consignment account. The second account is the consignee's account. The consignee's account is a personal account, and the consignee's account is to be opened to know how much the due from him. The consignee's account is debited with the gross sales, debited with the value of the gross sales, and the credited with the advance received by the consignee, and the expenses incurred by the consignee, and the commission amount of the consignee. And at the end, whatever the difference is there, that net amount is due from the consignee. And the third account, that is the goods sent on consignment account, and the fourth is the consignment stock account. Usually these four accounts are to be opened in the books of the consignor. And in the books of the consignee, we have to open only one account, that is the consignor account. So usually these are the systems, these type of the books are to be maintained in the procedure of the consignment. In the next period, we will discuss the next aspect, that is the branch account. Thank you one and all.